Today we're chatting with Armani, who set up an initiative called NAKSENI. Could you tell us, Armani, when did you start NAKSENI and what was the inspiration behind it?
So NAKSENI started as an online platform to sell items that are made into merchandise from artworks by PWD artists. And one of them is my sister Izati. So how that started was pre-pandemic. I was working with a company called My Performing Arts Agency, and we do a lot of conferences. And one day we had invited my sister to do an art exhibition, and Puan Zuradi, my mom, was the curator for that session. So she decided to do a group exhibition and call it We and Izati. We decided to create merchandise from that exercise. We didn't have a platform to sell it yet, and when the pandemic hit, we couldn't do any bazaars or pop-up shows and anything. So I started a platform online, and then it started building traction. But it was very, very slow at first, and I didn't mind it being slow because I was only just me and my mom selling from home, and we were learning. Mostly I was learning how to be a business owner while having my day job. And once that kicked off, I started getting more attention from other mothers, other NGOs who wanted to collaborate with us. I was invited to join a few initiatives that brought NAKSENI's name up. Currently, we are in Museum Telecom. They've given us a space to sell our items because we noticed that a lot of people are interested, but they prefer to come and hold the items themselves to see what the quality is like. What I'm trying to do with NAKSENI is I don't want people to just buy because it's OKU artists. I want them to also appreciate the artwork, and I want them to know that this is the kind of quality we can get from these talented artists. I also got invited by British Council to go and visit a festival in UK called Unlimited. So Unlimited Fest is very inclusive arts festival. They have theatre, they have visual arts, they have performances, they have a lot of activities that celebrate all the different talents from this community. Everyone was very welcoming there. So that was the kind of activities that we wanted to do here with We&I Arts Festival, but we could only reach a certain level because of the infrastructure that we had here. What I want to bring back from there is basically the concept of being inclusive. And starting with NAKSENI, we start with the products first, but we also have workshops. What we do at Museum Telecom, when we had the Moon Weekends last year, we had collaborations with facilitators or art teachers who want to work with OKU artists who have never worked with them before. And they were very happy to work with us. It was their first time doing it. Everyone was learning. It was still a new thing, but it started getting traction. We had a lantern making workshop and a candle making workshop, and they brought their children there thinking that the kids will not do anything. And the parents were very surprised to see that they wanted to do something together because they were in the same area with the other peers.
How do you reach out to people? So is it just via social media that people find out about NAKSENI?
Yeah, so at the moment, I'm still growing my team. We always work with partners who are very, very supportive. We help to cross-market each other. So whenever our partners have events, we come and support, or if we have events, our partners will support and they will share around on social media. Word of mouth, definitely. Friends and families will come and support. We haven't fully launched our marketing campaigns yet, so we're still working on that.
Can you tell us a little bit more about growing up with a sibling who has a disability?
So I thought it was a normal thing that everyone was brought up with, but I kind of took that for granted because as I grew up and I started talking about my sister, or I even introduced her to some of my classmates who have never met someone who has a disability. So I know some of them were being polite, but you can see the fear in their eyes. But the ones who are really close to me and they're really used to her and they know about her and they're comfortable, it's not a problem. I feel it's more of an exposure thing. The more people are exposed and are educated and get to mingle with them, get to know them, they shouldn't feel the fear. They shouldn't be scared.
From doing this as just a pastime to doing this more on a commercial basis, how do you deal with your artists?
These artists are not the type that would easily commissioned. They're in their own world. So the reason why I named it NAKSENI comes from the words anak, which means child, or it can mean nak as in want. Seni is art. I put the word child as because no matter how old they will get, they will always be in a childlike state, and that's a good thing for me because their imagination is very, very unique. So because they see the world differently, the way they do art is different. So whenever we tell them, hey, you have to do this a certain way, they might not agree with you. They might not do the best that they can, which we try not to control it. So what I do is I will speak to the parents and I'll ask them, I have this project. Is there any artwork that you think so and so will be suitable for? And then they'll give me ideas, or they'll say, oh, we'll try and see if they're interested to paint this sort of thing. So we don't try and force them, we just follow their preferences as well.
I heard that you won an award recently. Could you tell us a little bit about that?
NAKSENI won an award for Outstanding Community Support by We.R.Wira. So we're very, very honored to get that. I think because the whole of last year we were doing activities for the community, we're trying to bring up initiatives that will make people more aware of inclusivity when they're doing art or any activities with them. I was also working with We.R.Wira's platform to reach out to their networks. And I do feel that there's not enough of people doing what we do. So that award was purely from the result of having such a wonderful team and partners helping us to grow NAKSENI.
What would be your hope for Malaysia with regards to people with disabilities?
It's 2023 now. We need better infrastructure for them. We need education, not just for them, but the whole country. When I went to Unlimited AHA, they have just announced that Wales made it compulsory for their schools to learn sign language. I have always wanted that to be a norm here. We just had the same discussion with British Council because I had to share with them my experience. So with me was my friend who is a wheelchair user. We didn't drive there, so we had to walk and cross the street. And where we were was just 2 lanes away from KLCC. But getting there is so difficult because the lanes, the pathways where her wheelchair could go on, it was blocked by the motorbikes for the parking, and the pavements were broken in certain areas. So she had to go onto the bike lane, and the traffic was so heavy at the time. Traffic light was too fast. We literally had to just stop the cars and let her go. Thankfully, the cars were supportive. They didn't honk anything. I'm sure she felt really upset. So when we got to the other side of the road, we finally got to just one more lane across from KLCC's entrance. There was a huge longkang where the wheelchair was supposed to go over. So I'm wondering, how do they expect people to travel? I expected our city to be a bit more accessible because we are supposed to be at par with cities like London and Singapore. I visited them and I'm very in awe of how easy it is. They have step-free facilities. They have a map on how to get there to certain stations. So many people are independent there, whether it's senior citizens or disabled. We do have initiatives in KL, but it's not 100%, I would say. So I think we still need a lot of improvement. We have a very wholesome community in Malaysia. We just need to reach out to each other, stop working in silos, and there's a lot of potential that we can do for the future, I think.